Hi, everybody. Still trying to get presentable a little bit. What's up, world? Let's go ahead and see all of the chats because I don't know why I wouldn't want to see all the chats. Okay. How's everybody's Wednesday going? Yeah. Okay. That felt like a race for some reason. I don't know why. That felt like a race. But, so, happy to be here. Glad to be done racing, actually. You know, I have a thought. Hang on a second. Hey, Owen. Again. Will you go get me the box? It's on the wooden chair. Thank you. Confusion in the comments is always fun. I don't know why. What up, Philological? Pretty good, pretty good. Got seed pods today. I don't know. This came from a vase of flowers. I just like the way it rattles. Anyway, I don't know. I'm a little woo. It's been a hectic week, you know. How are you? Am I doing something with them? No, this is the only one I managed to salvage. I just like it. I don't know if you can hear it rattling. It like rattles the seeds inside. I don't know. I just like it. Hi. 1:30. 1:30? Okay, cool. This one? Yes. Thank you. Love you, Mom. Love you. So now I can put this up. And you guys aren't like looking up my nose. There. Isn't that nice? Oh, no, I'm just sort of pulling at random thoughts at the moment. Like I say, it's been a hectic week. It's been a hectic morning. Such is life. How goes the editing, eh? And I love the thought that you're watching me on a library computer. That cracks me the fuck up for some reason. I don't know. I'm a bit frustrated because I'm not able to get my blood test done for a while, but these things happen. Is it the NHS being slow? They've sort of become notorious for that, unfortunately. No, it's not been a fun week. But I'm not here to talk about that, you know. This has never been my space to bitch about my personal life. Everybody has stuff they could bitch about in their personal lives, right? That's not. Everybody could probably go on and on and on, and I just don't. And it's so funny because around here they have this saying. They say, you know, hi, how you doing? Can't complain. Nobody'd listen. And I just always want to say, what the heck do you mean? What the heck do you mean nobody would listen? That's what half the internet is. I swear to God. It's just people complaining about stuff back and forth to one another. It's practically a sport. Editing is a bit slow. It's really hot here, and that makes it hard to think. Wow, you should come here. It's cool and gray here. Like, again, like, there's been some swapperoo been played on us. It's not even the NHS. I normally go to a charity run by my old university, but they got hit by a cybersecurity attack, so they can't process medical information at the moment. Hey, Joe! The cybersecurity attack? Is that something I should know about? And the only other one doesn't have appointments available till September, by which point I'll be back in Belfast. You're a professional editor. Did I know this? I'm going to need a professional editor eventually. Although, you know, the book's going to be a little slower because I'm having to crank up the channel for reasons, you know. My feet have been held to the fire, you could say. I think it's the international cybersecurity attack, the one that took out all the flights. That is cool, by the way. Yeah, that is cool. I'm sorry. I'm just babbling on about my own selfish needs and whatever. That is cool. And it's a great field, you know. What kind of do you like, you know? I don't know. What sort of stuff have you edited? Novels, magazine articles? What do you, freelance? I actually looked at getting into proofreading at one point. Yeah, so I knew this. I knew this. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. I can't even keep track of my own stuff half the time. In my defense, I'm so sorry. Semi retired. Love my dress top. This is the same one I've been wearing in videos for like a month, but thank you. It's sort of my go to video dress. Like the way I would have to do this is I would literally need to have like a notebook with the page with everybody's name and all the stuff I know about them on it if I were going to even attempt to remember this properly. I do at least try and keep a pretty good, idea of like age and location, you know, like as a general sort of biography of whoever anybody is. I mostly do work for clients I've already had for years. Yeah. The joys of being established, right? Kind of sounds like living the dream, really. And not have to go hunting for work. That's nice. No, and obviously I'm going to be launching into that search at some point in the future. No, for right now, gotta focus on getting the channel off the ground because pressure has been applied externally, you see, and basically it is now or never. So I have to make it happen now. I was sort of waiting. I was, I don't know, posting weekly works perfectly well for some people. I don't know. Worked for Hay House, the largest new age spiritual coaching company in the world, until I realized they were a bunch of narcissists. Ooh. Yeah, again, raised by Wiccans. I could go on. Yeah, I don't doubt that at all. There's a couple of regulars I get confused. There's Critical Kitty and another one with Cat Kitty in their name. I think they're different people, right? Yeah, thank you for admitting that. I'm pretty sure they are different people. Um, Critical Kitty is somebody who I'm actually fairly familiar with outside of this. We've emailed, in private, and I think, uh, one time she did come on here under a different name and identified herself. Hey, I'm Critical Kitty. You know, so I have pretty good reason to think those are two different people. Yeah, it's a pretty easy coincidence. Ooh, that's interesting. Were you New Age yourself? If you're comfortable saying, that's a good question. I feel like we have talked about that before, and you're like, I used to be New Age person, right? In the same way that you used to be more lefty, right? I have one woman who does amazing fiction that I work on hers, and have for 12 years. And other than that, I mostly work with doctor therapists because my specialty is personality disorder, shame, and trauma. See, that I remember we've talked about. I studied Zen Buddhism, but they were a bunch of whack bags, a bunch of unscientific woohoo, and they're all predators. Gurus are all predators. I swear, it's terrible. Yeah, this has been my observations. Again, I can't argue with you. Oh wow. The woo woo I would have guessed, but not the predator part. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think there's just part of the psychological makeup necessary to going into being a guru that's predatory. There's just something predatory about the idea of going around collecting followers on purpose. I don't care how you rationalize that. Okay. Speaking as the lady who's trying to build a YouTube following, that's not the same thing, is it? I'm not telling y'all what to eat. I'm not telling y'all how to dress. I'm not telling y'all how to live your life. That's not what this is it all. No, 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 no. I'm trying to, like I say, build a rapport with the community. I literally mean that. That is not some sort of esoteric doublespeak for anything. That is literally precisely, I'm a writer. That is precisely what I'm trying to do, okay? The last year and a half, I ended up working with a couple of high profile prisoners in California, so I may be writing a book. That's right, that's right. That is fascinating. You should totally write that book. And I ended up doing that because of my association with doctors and therapists who work on shame and trauma. Yeah. One of my clients, and now close friends, is Patty Ashley, Dr. Patty Ashley, and she has a great TED Talk on shame. I recommended it. I recommend it on YouTube. Okay, cool. If you watch it, tell her I said hi. That is cool. Oh. Right on. Not as if I don't know. I act as if there's any hope that I'm actually going to watch anything because, yeah, no, I've spent the last 2 days just full bore, just full speed doing. I've had a video up Monday and yesterday, I think. Right? I know I put one up yesterday, but I'm trying to remember if I actually had one premiere yesterday or if that was just the live. I want to say that was just the anyway. I had a video up Monday, and then I had a video up today, and I've done lives every day because I have to get this algorithm's attention. Come hell or high water. Okay, I have to make this happen now. So here we are. They were different kinds of predators, some sexual, but mostly financial. Right, right. As I say, I think there's just something predatory about the psychology of somebody who puts themselves in that position. Oh, okay, financial makes sense. I hear the New Age and Wicca stuff often gets quite expensive. Which, I can't believe that. If your religion, spirituality should not be expensive. That's absurd. If your religion is expensive, that's a scam. Which I know I'm talking about a lot of really, really high profile groups right now, but like if ever there was a man made concept, it's money, right? What the fuck? Those two things are not. I know Scientology does that. I know. Like, oh. I don't know. At least Wicca, I know you can practice without spending a bunch of money. All the Wiccans I've ever met were not exactly financially well off. Uh, so, excuse me. I think they're the only major religious organization with copyrights that are sacred texts and charge you money to read them. I mean, no, because if you want to talk about Wicca, there are no sacred texts. But if you want to read any of the books about it, you have to. Well, I suppose you might be able to rent them from the library or find a PDF online. But like, you have to purchase those things. Like you're supposed to, and the crystals and the incense and the blah 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 blah. Yeah, I mean, there's always stuff to spend money on. But you don't have to do any of that to practice Wicca. You know, to officially be a Wiccan, all you have to do is decide that you're a Wiccan. That's as far as I know. That's it. And you can go through various initiation rites and whatever, but you love the Wicca aesthetic. Is that basically what I was just describing? Crystals and incense and stuff? Like, what do you mean? Really? Please describe, because I've known too damn many to really have too specific an idea of what that is. You made Scott think of the TV show Charmed. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I suppose if you want to call it, talk about the Wiccan aesthetic, we discussed that in the live stream yesterday, to some extent, didn't we? Like all that old media. Yeah, like the witchy shtick. Yeah, and it aggravates me that Wicca has become witchcraft because, newsflash, it's not. Shannon Doherty was badass. Oh my god, I cannot believe how. Okay, like that made me feel so old. I know she's dead, so like, way poor me. But like, Shannon Doherty's dead. What the? Wow, she was quite young, and that's very sad. But it feels like I've reached the part of my life, and I have literally in other. We had somebody go last year, reached the part of my life where and he wasn't the first actually. The part of your life where people your friends begin to die. The She lost her long battle with cancer. I didn't know she had cancer. I didn't follow her. That to me that was out of left field. I. Anyways, on that note, what did everybody think of today's video? It felt a little rambly, but I also got to say some important things. So. Oh, good. The guy across the street is using his weed whacker. That's fabulous. I don't know. The gray weather at least seems to keep the kid across the street from using the dirt bike all afternoon. For sure, it was a good video. Oh, thank you. I watched part of the women's triathlon last night. Oh, how was that? I have not managed to catch any of the Olympics. Shocking, I know. Oh, Christ. Okay. It got me wondering what your thoughts on the wages for housework movement are. But don't answer for a sec. I gotta go pee. All right. That's fun. I have a YouTube video in the background of a YouTube video. That's hilarious. Oh. Well, how about this? I'm going to go grab a band aid real quick and I'll be right back. Too. And we're back. So, my thoughts on the wages for housework movement. I mean, on the one hand, it's validating, and on the other, the idea of oversight for such things is a bit terrifying, right? That's like the one nice thing about being a stay-at-home anything is you don't have somebody looking over your shoulder to make sure you're getting it done. Like, mm. And I know you said not to talk about it till you got back, but I'm just sort of spitballing here. And it really just almost feels like a band-aid. It feels like being paid off, frankly. It feels like hush money. So, and like, how would you regulate that? How would you measure? Like, what? It would have to be some calculated somehow to like local cost of living, and it would have to be just a standard amount, you know, on like a monthly basis, stipend or something. Like, you could not, like, what are we gonna do? Clock in and out? Like, uh, people making $2,000 a head, people teaching people how to think their way into abundance. How ironic. Yeah, right? Which, it's like, it's multi-level marketing. It's so bizarre. Yes, it is. Anyhow, time for you to unleash your inner Summer Macintosh. I don't know who that is. Is that an athlete? Yes, it's MLM. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because they're manifesting their abundance by conning other women into listening to them talk about manifesting abundance. It's and then you go teach other women to listen to you talk about manifesting abundance. It's literally MLM with no product. It's amazing. Like, no product at all. I don't know. I guess that is what the definition of an MLM is. Theoretically, technically, legally, in the United States, if you have a physical product, that's the difference between a pyramid scheme. What up? You're back? Okay, cool. The Canadian swimmer who won a gold medal. Nice. Nice. Okay, so as far as unleashing my inner Olympic swimmer, I mean, something like that. I don't know if the level of endurance is my concern, honestly, and I'm so happy everybody's about to go back to school. The high school started back today, so and the little guy goes back in a couple of weeks, so it's all good. Okay, as far as I just went over this a minute ago, like in rehearsal, because um, as far as it seems like hush money. I guess it's the conclusion that I came to. As far as I've been watching my grandkids 3 days a week this summer, and school starts Tuesday, and I'm not complaining. Right, right. Oh, I don't know what he's in there yelling about. It's so annoying. So we're about to get an ad. I don't remember if you have to. No, I mean, you're a member of the channel, but I don't remember if you have a premium use. Anyway, I don't want you to miss my explanation. Again. um, so I'm just gonna wait a second or a minute. Tra la. So I guess just be sure. Let me know if you can hear me right now. You know. and then I will carry on with that. What's up?
Do you know where my shoes are?
No, they're in your room, I believe.
I'll help you look.
What's going on?
I'm helping him get dressed.
Why?
Because that's...
Just to get dressed?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it is 12:30.
Oh, yeah. Dad is taking him to Aldi.
Okay. Sounds exciting. Okay, cool. No, and okay. Well, maybe it's faking me out and not inserting them at all for all I know. I don't know. I feel like sometimes it does it without telling me. I don't know. YouTube's funny like that. So yeah, it seems like hush money in the end. Like at first, the first impression is it's validating to be recognized as work in that way, and it would give you, perhaps a bit of financial independence where you did not have it before, but it would have to be just sort of a generic monthly stipend, right? That's somehow calculated by like local cost of living, maybe. Because the idea of oversight is a bit terrifying, right? That's like one of the big perks of being a stay-at-home anything is you don't have somebody breathing down your neck, making sure the work gets done. You're your own boss, right? Entirely. It's almost 9:30 there. Yeah. I know you're 3 hours behind us. um. So yeah, I don't know. In the end, it almost seems like reductionist. Uh, because you would have to treat them all the same. And Hawaii is 3 hours behind us. Right on. So that makes it 5:30 in the morning in Hawaii. No wonder I never get any Hawaiians on this. I am a horrible employee. That's why I went freelance. Right on. Yeah, I just can't put up with the bullshit in corporate America without opening my big mouth. Yeah, I just don't have like the kind of temperament to get confrontational like that, so I just end up stewing in like my own negativity. It's also terrible. And as I was trying to say the other day, stuff like that drives me insane very fast. And it's not necessarily it's the monotony. A lot of it's the monotony. Oh God. Like there's routine and then there's monotony, right? And I feel like that's constructive versus destructive is the difference between those two things. Like, is it helping you or is it hurting you? That repetition. I was the bitch who marched in the office and spoke for everyone. Yeah. Rock and roll. We need women like you. I'm not speaking against it. I'm not saying, like, obviously my go-to method is not preferable. And I think perhaps it's more common. I don't know. I do prefer, the video format where I get to edit myself to sound as intelligent as possible and nobody gets to, like, interrupt me, Well, they do. They don't have to watch the whole damn video, but you know what I mean. Hey, baby.
Hey.
You guys going to the grocery store?
No.
You look nice.
So can I bother you for a second?
Yeah.
There's a mobile game called Idle Kingdom,
Uh-huh.
and I used to love it.
Uh-huh.
And I just re-downloaded it, and I remembered why I took it off my phone. It's all about resource management and supply chain escalation.
Uh-huh.
So it's all about detailed numbers. And I'm over here rebuilding these fucking supply chains to maximize production like I'm a little kindness plan manager. And I'm like, oh my God, I lost an hour and a half restructuring a supply chain for an imaginary game that I have to reset anyways because it's an idle game. Once you get so many points, you reset it and it enhances. It's like a roguelike. So you keep, oh my God, I love it. It's all about like maximizing output. But yeah. Even when I'm not at work, I'm secretly at work. What does it say about me that I have to just fucking fiddle with things and maximize things?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's an instinct and you should apply it to something productive.
I love you.
I love you. Oh.
Are you doing your live stream?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What are we saying? What are we saying? And I always got that I got what I wanted and got treated better, and I was always the one that left. So take heed. Don't be a suck up. Agreed. I was never afraid of losing a job, and although that may be foolhardy, it meant I was one of the happier people I knew. Right on. Most people are too afraid to speak up because they were taught it's dangerous, and it can be. I knew I had parents who would always have my back, so I had a luxury other people didn't. So I took advantage of that for everyone. Hmm. That sounds like using your privilege for the greater good. Right on. You just got a YouTube ad. Okay. Okay. It might have had a little doohickey there in the corner for a second. I think I saw that, but like I'm a little distracted. Hmm. That seems like sound advice. I'm gonna try to follow it. Thanks. Yeah, I can't disagree with any of that. I don't know. I admire people who are like that. I'm not one of them. I always started with first. Let me say, I know you're the boss, and at the end of the day, I respect that. But what you say goes. But I also know I will be in a position to decide whether I leave or stay based on your answer. And I was always a high performer, so they didn't want to lose me. See, that's key. Yes, many employers can be very big on retaliation. Right. I wouldn't. I don't know. I've always ended up just having to sort of get in and get out and try and save my own sanity. I can. I don't know. Which then ends up being self defeating because it's harder to make friends on the job. Hmm. Yeah, but you got to be a stellar employee and be great to your fellow coworkers and bring up their morale. You got to make yourself valuable, which is all very admirable skills or talents, maybe. Oh, I always end up leaving to save my sanity. I just make sure I get treated well while I'm there. Right. No, I mean, it's like just on a daily basis. It's not exactly something I'm proud of. But it has forced me to wonder. I mean, it's really just in that situation that I feel like that. You know, and the few times, you know, the times in my life that I've been outside of those situations, I find my mental health rebounds remarkably. So I don't. What do you make of that? You know, the best example is probably my first year of college. I made the dean's list without even trying. Uh, by focusing on school. That was literally it. That was what I did. After struggling to graduate high school at all. People will mostly treat you the way you treat them. Teach them to treat you. Yeah, I have learned that, but that's a learning curve. At least it has been for me. I'm using my talk to text. I don't know why it put a period in there. I hate it. It's cool. I'm trying. I'm trying to keep up. I hear thunder rumbling. We're about to get a big storm. I love them, but I don't want to lose my electricity again. I lost it for 4 days last month, and it was, you know, I've been hearing a lot of stuff like that going around. But it really made me appreciate my first world problems, right? I tend to try to find silver linings I can use. Yeah. The amount of stuff that just becomes ridiculously difficult when the power goes out is sort of frightening, right? Yeah. Thunderstorms are a seldom occurrence there. Really? You guys do get a lot of rain though, right? We've talked about this before. That stereotype's not so off base, is it? Apparently we like thunderstorms are the thing around here. We talked about that too. The big town not far from here has been historically called the thunderstorm capital of America. So, oh, I would miss them terribly. Where are you? But yeah, finding silver linings is the way to get through life. Oh my gosh. It's always been my go-to anyway. I have found that critical thinkers tend to have high anxiety. In the United States because it's not appreciated or even recognized, which is very frustrating. Yeah. It's that anti-intellectualism thing, right? Yeah. Yes, we get rain, but not many thunderstorms. Back in early September 2019, we got hit with a big thunderstorm, got lots of lightning and thunder. You know, and if you were anyone else, I would say, wow, that must have been an enormous storm. You remember it that well, but you remember lots of stuff like that. You just have like an encyclopedic brain or something. Still, that was a while ago. Yeah, we got a thunderstorm here yesterday. So, oh, my nose is driving me crazy. That storm was very memorable, and I video recorded it. Oh, nice. Wow, I would be a little bit pissed if I got rain without any of the optics or sound effects. Oh, a nice drizzle can be very romantic. Come on. I also posted it on my Facebook page. Well, of course. If you got a good video of something like that, you have to post it somewhere. No, it's a nice, cool, breezy day here today, especially for late July. Oh my God, it's Wanda's birthday.
Is it the 31st?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I gotta go wish her happy birthday.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good call.
Yeah.
All right. For no other reason than being my live-in calendar, and you even reminded me to eat our breakfast the other day, so I guess we can't get divorced. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking about.
I do try to add value to my existence, to the world around me, you know. It's a cool, cloudy morning, but when But we're in for a hot, sunny weather starting tomorrow. We're supposed to get more rain the next couple days. I was just looking at it. I was thinking we might go sit on the side patio today, and quite frankly, what I was looking at earlier is supposed to be raining now, so we shall see. I'm in Indiana. See, that's what I thought. You live in Bloomington. Right. See, that I remember, because half my dad's family lives in Bloomington. We have them all the time. Yeah. Well, meteor.
See if you can stay in their guest house when you go to that funeral service.
Bloomington is like
I'm joking.
I know.
Indiana's like Cleveland. You could be going to Beechwood and they can be in Hillcrest or wherever the fuck they're. Is Hillcrest a suburb of Cleveland? I forget.
No.
It sounds like it could be.
It could be. It has enough of them, that's for damn sure. I've been to Indiana, but not to Bloomington. Bloomington is nice. Well, it was 20 years ago. I mean, Jesus, I haven't been to Bloomington in 20 years. Well, a little less than that. The one who's sitting in there on the couch is now a 20-year-old. She was a toddler the last time I went to fucking Bloomington, so there you go. Bloomington is like this little liberal oasis in the middle of Redneckville. Yep. It's a college town. That's where Indiana University is. Hey, Bubby.
I'm not here.
Oh, that mean I don't get a hug? Fine. Be that way. Oh.
I'm not here.
Your sister has an interview in 30 minutes.
No, Jamie's taking her. We talked about that.
Okay. I didn't know if I was supposed to be here, and I'm leaving, so I just wanted to...
Good call. Thank you. Love you. Drive safe.
No.
Please.
I don't want to drift this like I stole it, bitch.
Please.
Okay.
Oh, thanks. It's been horribly humid here for the last 4 or 5 days. Yuck. You didn't know that's where IU was? Yeah. Oh, yeah. My dad went there. One of my best friends growing up, her parents went there. She went there. I think her husband now. I don't remember if Michael went to IU as well or not. Well, anyway, I've known a handful of people that went there in various generations. And, at one point I wanted to go there. And, yeah. So, it's a big college town. It's basically what you'd think of as a big college town in the middle of southern Indiana, my nose, the pollen's driving me crazy. Oh, yeah, and there's a headstone in the cemetery there bearing my name. First and last. Because, she's an ancestor of mine. But so that was fun. Seeing that one day. That was fun. Never been to southern Indiana, only northern. Oh, you missed all the fun. Northern Indiana is flat and boring. And the southern half of the state is a whole different story. The southern half of the state looks more like Kentucky. It's hills and forests and all that stuff. Wacky. The bit about the headstone, yeah, that was a fun day. I think I was 13 or 14 the day I saw that. My own name on a headstone. Yeah. I don't know that that's an experience everyone has. I'm 99% sure no one else in history has ever had my name, so I don't have to worry about that. Nice. Well, the story goes that everybody with my maiden last name is related. But also the story goes that it's an invented name that was, derived from a German name, which then I want to know why there are people with that last name in England. So, my personal theory is that it might just be an English name, but that I'm not a genealogist, and what the fuck do I know? I'll tell him you said hi when he gets back. They just left for the grocery store. 2:30. Haircut. Okay. Blah blah blah. Great. So, maybe one exists for my birth name though. Well, I mean, yeah. Again, my married name is an invented name. So if I ever see it on a headstone that isn't somebody I know, that's going to be very strange. Which is why, I've never been worried about showing my face. And I've never been worried about, necessarily doxing myself, because, literally, if you Google my name, my address comes right up. There are 3 of us on the whole planet. 4 if you count my husband's ex-wife. That's it. So, we're not hard to find. Just realized I was 5 minutes behind. Hi, all. Hey, what up? Oh, my nose itches. Oh, it's driving me crazy. I need to take an antihistamine and they're in the house. You know what? This is stupid. Give me 30 seconds. I'll be right back. But yeah, so Mr. Distractable over there has made things very difficult this week. Meanwhile, he's just had this heart scan and there's a decent chance they're going to tell him he needs surgery and whatever. And look at me sitting over here remembering it's his mama's birthday before he does. I don't even... words fail. I don't know. Oh, boy. This is also the allergen capital of the North America, at least, right? Currently, allergy season around here is epic. I never had allergies before I moved here, so I believe it. But so yeah, I don't really know what exactly. I hope he doesn't end up needing surgery. Same. It would be really nice if it's not got to that point, but we don't know, and we're not. We will know. We could know any minute. Literally, the doctor's office could call him today. So, it's just that he picked a weird time. To get, and I'm laughing about it because, like I say, I don't really know what's going on. I don't really. But suffice to say, he said he appreciates the effort. with all the extra stuff on the channel, despite the fact that this is not what he told me to do. So that's good, I guess. Because I have a job. And I need to make this happen. All right? That's the goal here. And I really don't like that it's, calls people followers. I like members better. That's better. But you have to pay to become a member. Oh, sweet mercy. My headphones are dying now. Oh my gosh, you guys. I can't lose my soundtrack. I'll lose my train of thought. 1 second. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And they were right there on the shelf next to where the antihistamines were. If I'd waited 2 more minutes to give up and go get the antihistamines, then I could have just done it both at the same time. Oh my gosh. Life is so much fun. Yeah, no, I had to spend a penny a minute ago. That was a minute ago. I stole that a minute ago. At first I heard that as you have to pee to become a member. Pay. Sorry. Sometimes I have this thing where I talk with my mouth closed. I hate it. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do better. No, you do. You have to pay to become a member, so that's not. But the terminology of followers, the more I think about it, the more I don't like it. And I guess it doesn't really matter. Subscribers is better. Because I'm not amassing followers. I hate people like that. So, Radicals? No, gurus. I hate gurus. We will be your followers. Tell us what to do. Well, girl, you've already done a lot of the stuff I talk about, You're one of the people who chimes in and says, yeah, totally, which I love. I love that. And it sounds like you're, doing more than your fair share to be the change that you want to see in the world. So I don't have advice for everybody. I admit to still learning myself, and I love it. I love that I'm still learning. I don't know. I was reading something earlier about being a perennial, right? Someone who just blooms and blooms and blooms, right? And comes back bigger every season and that kind of thing. Which is a lovely metaphor on the one hand. But on the other hand, it also kind of sounded like the person who wrote the article was just sort of trying to deny the idea of getting older at all. You don't just bloom and bloom forever. You do actually enter a different phase of life. I feel it myself already, okay? I am not the same person I was 20 years ago, and thank goodness. Right? Well, at least you weren't MAGA confused. MAGA confused? What? Oh. If anybody ever confuses me for a MAGA person, I would be confused. I feel like that's a tough call to make there. Weird. There's seasons to our lives, and joy and slowing down and becoming more aware we are not meant to be 20 forever. Right. There's pluses and minuses to every stage. Exactly. Do I think it's a negative change? No. No. I have a friend really struggling with the idea that she's getting older. Oh, that's understandable. Um, but it's a value judgment, isn't it? When they say age is just a number, I've always taken that's what that means. Whatever that number means to you and for you is different for everybody. Not really understandable. She's 25. Oh, well, I mean, okay. No, because, see, and I knew this years before it happened to me. But right around 25 is when your brain really reaches full maturity and solidifies to its adult form. 2 ads? Goddamn, Scott, I'm sorry. I'm 62 now, and I'm definitely not the same, but I feel like a great version of me now. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean to say. I am the new and improved version of myself, because of all the work that I have done. I was very uncomfortable about a lot of things in my 20s. And so I worked on them. Well, I haven't been getting any ads. Maybe membership actually does stop you seeing ads. Maybe it does. That's weird. That's a perk, I guess. Cool. I think my European upbringing made aging look different to me. My parents were both very vital old people. And my friend I mentioned whose parents went to IU, her grandparents were, I'm not even shitting you, literally hiking the Grand Canyon in their 80s. I mean, they didn't just decide to do that one day, right? They'd been doing that regularly for decades. But it's true. If you don't slow down, you never grow old. Like, that's kind of true. That's a big truck. Hi, big truck. Wow. All right. That's goals. Right. Yeah, that is goals. And I thought that at the age of like 10. I heard that and I went, whoa, seriously? Fucking hell. My grandparents are all, we are all not in a wheelchair, but like, in an easy chair somewhere. Like, holy shit. No flex, but people often tell me I look good for my age, and I always laugh and say, this is what 62 looks like. I don't want women to be afraid of it. Right. In 2025, my spare time focus is going to be on hiking and long distance walking. Oh my God, I love walking. I haven't been on a walk in a couple of days because I've been super busy and preoccupied, but like, oh my God, if I don't get out today, I'm going to be very unhappy. Already a bit late, but it's a kind of habit it's probably healthy to get into now. Yeah. It's never too late. I mean, unless you physically cannot. It's probably, how natural is that as an exercise, right? Is it how something, it's something everybody can do, pretty much. Yes, I do. I still do quarter or half mile swims in the Sound, been doing it for decades. Nice. Bill, she's not afraid of getting old. She's afraid of not being useful and having the same opportunities, is my guess. Yeah. Like I say, it's a value judgment. And in my experience, anyway, to speak from my own experience, it is related to what you value yourself for. Okay. Oh, youthful, not useful. I see a lot of times those are kind of synonyms, especially if you're a woman. Right? That made sense. Anyway. To me at least. I don't know. Because that's kind of what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting at. Is, most of us, I would venture to say, have internalized some version of the idea that young equals, valuable, right? That youth is valuable. And the less of it you have, the less valuable you are. Susan Powder used to say, move your body. She was right. Yeah, absolutely. And I've always, like I say, I watched, my grandparents and my parents get old sitting in front of the television. And I never wanted, that's frankly, why I really don't watch a whole lot of television. I've always been minorly horrified at the idea of being ensnared by that particular gremlin, especially as somebody with, I have this imagination that likes to run away with me anyway. Like, I don't need the help, so, I'm very selective about the television that I indulge in. Because, before you know it, you've spent 20 fucking years on the couch. And I just can't. Even as a kid, I'm like, I can't fucking fathom that. Yes, the very cruel, brutal double standards of aging against women. A very big problem. Right, yeah. Actually, you're right. Also useful, especially for women because of their fertility. Right, yeah. Yeah, my mother pretty much just watches YouTube all day if she's not spending time with her kids, and it doesn't seem to do her sexagenarian brain any good. Nope, nope, nope. Nope, nope, nope. Your brain is a part of your body. And keeping your body in good shape is. I'm not just saying this, obviously. Science says this. One of the best ways to keep your brain in good health long term is to keep your body in good health as best you can. Says the lady with the cigarette in her hand. I'm not perfect, but it doesn't mean I'm not gonna try. I've been watching trad wife stuff, and I didn't realize how reproduction crazy a lot of Americans are. Yeah. That's weird. And that's why I have said that a couple of times lately. How that whole family values thing is so hardcore conservative coded pisses me the fuck off. Because you can want to have kids and be a mom. You can want passionately to have kids and be a mom without being a Republican. Those two things do not go together. That's some forced steaming that goes way back, like for my whole life, and that shit pisses me off so bad. I'm surrounded by people in every age group all the time in all areas of my life, and I think that also makes a difference. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that was something that article about being a perennial mentioned, is having friends of all ages. And like when I was younger, I had older friends. I still have older friends. I have, my kids, 3 of them are Gen Z, and then my youngest is 7. So, like, I foresee it's going to be a long time before I'm isolated from people who are not my own age. um, I don't know why they can't just be celebratory about it without being weird. I have friends who are mothers and I love it. And love it. But these trad types can't just enjoy being mothers publicly. They gotta make it a weird thing that every woman is expected to do. That's that insecurity, okay? That's that same insecurity that makes anybody go around telling other people they need to live like they do. Because they don't feel in their core justified just in having that make them happy. That's not enough. That's the limit of my understanding, pretty much. Why isn't that enough? I don't know. Maybe they're not actually happy. That's supposed to be the obvious deduction there, but that's a deduction. That's my guess. Though for real, I don't understand so much of the world. My grandkids and I have dance parties. That sounds awesome. My 3-year-old grandson can do the entire Thriller sequence. Oh, that is hilarious. Oh my god, that's amazing. Oh my god, put a mask on that kid and put that shit online. Oh my god. That's amazing. I'm being selfish. I just want to see it. That trad shit is literally for women. They're taking their children's entire future on one man wanting you forever. Yeah. 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 It's I've been watching that trend for years too. I was making blog posts about that 5 years ago, at least. So yeah, I want to say, oh my god, when was my Alina and the Trad Wives? Like, I want to say the play. Like, I thought that would make a really cool band name. Frankly, that sounded like a rock band to me. Oh man, everybody's talking about this now, so I have to actually put the name of the blog in. If I expect it to come up. There it is. Oh, I spelled her name wrong. That'd do it. Yeah. Oh, what's the date on this? Tradwives, daring to ignore feminism's big questions. Yeah. Where's the date? The fuck? So confused. September 28th, 2020. Okay. So it was 4 years ago. I could put the link to that in the chat box here in case anybody's interested in reading it. Because, not to say I told you so, but I did. I called this so long, like years ago, and it's frustrating for me for everything, so and now everybody's on the bandwagon. Let's see. Like, he thinks there's nothing wrong with a woman aged 18. And Dr. Tex will not listen to me. I'm sorry, honey. Not going to uni or trade school or learning any productive skills on the expectation that her husband will take care of her forever. Yeah. It's like a saving that the husband will. Yeah. Being a trad wife sets you up to destroy you and your children's future. Yeah. You cannot have all that hanging on whether one man wants to keep you or not. Well, right. It very easily turns into a nightmare scenario, and this has, been the lesson of all of history. I don't understand. That was my first reaction when I saw this, was to be just horrified and mystified. Just what universe are these women living in? Because it's not one I've ever been to, where the feminist movement of the 18th century just never happened. Enlightenment feminism, for God's sake. Mary Wollstonecraft, okay? Like, let's see. Literally, as much of a cliche as this sounds, it's literally disempowering to women. Yeah. Like the woman who is able to support herself and then chooses to marry and be a housewife, etc., she can probably survive if the guy decides to leave her. Right. But when I found out my children's dad was a narcissist, when I found out my children's dad was a narcissist, even though I was a stay-at-home mom because my parents helped me, I was able to leave. I wouldn't never done it without back. Right. And you shouldn't need to. You shouldn't be asked to. That is absurd. And inhuman. It's like being kept as a pet. I'm glad you were able to get out. Yeah, same. It's been a lesson for all of history, but I think young women these days are a couple of generations removed from that. They are. Hell, I'm a couple of generations removed for it, but I got to hear about it. Okay. So, and, see the scars that it left on some of the older women in my family, I guess. Like, maybe their grandparents had to put up with terrible relationships because they couldn't own a bank account. But how many young girls take their grandparents' advice super seriously? Like, I did. But I'm weird. No, I used to on summer vacation, literally a couple of years, I went to stay with my grandparents just to pick my grandma's brain. Well, and also because they kind of let me come and go as I pleased, and I was 16 and 17, and that was choice, right? But no, it was easily 50% just to stay up late with my grandma and pick her brain. She and my mom never got along, so there was all sorts of family lore and shit that my mom just didn't know. And I was actually kind of the golden child in that whole dynamic, so I took advantage of that. Talk about using your privilege for the greater good. That's what I was trying to do there. And I have since passed on a lot of this lore to my own kids, stuff that my mom didn't tell me. My grandma did. But I'm just curious about that kind of shit. I was literally the kid who would sit down and say, "Tell me about the olden days, Grandma." Like, literally. So. Social media is teaching young women that their highest value is their looks, which is the same message that we got back in the day, but just so much more literally in your face. It was so much easier to avoid. I still got my fair share, mind you. And that's a horrible thing to bet your future on for obvious reasons. Yeah. And just, we as a society used to have this ideal of inner beauty or inner value, human worth. Even worse, not just their looks, but their sexuality. I think it's so destructive. Oh, yeah. And this is the part where I start to sound, and I hate that this sounds old-fashioned. I hate that this makes me sound like some sort of prude, but I do think some things ought to be left private. I do. Some things are personal and don't need to be shared with the world. That's not so outrageous, is it? Like they're called your private parts for a reason? I don't know. It sounds so corny right now. Oh, but this has just been my observation. It just is, it's corrosive to the psyche to treat it otherwise. For women, anyway. I guess I won't speak for men. I would argue that it is similar, but I digress. Like the rhetoric about women hitting the wall. Yeah. It's fucked up. Look at how men who claim to be women dress and do their makeup, and that tells you everything about our culture of beauty standards. About real, yeah. I feel like some younger women might be tempted to bite into it because it's beneficial for them in the present. Yeah, no, it works in the moment. And I understand that a lot of, especially younger people don't have like a conception of the passage of time that's super sturdy. Because why would they? To place a lot of importance in one's looks, fertility, but everyone ages, and it seems so strange to buy into an ideology which is pretty much telling you that unless you have become a mother by age 40-something, you have little value to society. Yeah, I mean, ask Bethany what's-her-face, right? The girl-defined girl who wasn't married till she was like 31 or so. I don't know the details of that, but I know she was very sad. Okay, we just had an ad. I'm going to go ahead and skip this one. I know we just had one. That's a little zany. We don't need two in a row. Youthful ignorance is much more dangerous with the internet than it was without. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm sure you'll agree with me on this point that I'm so happy there was no camera present for any of the embarrassing moments of my adolescence. None of them. Nobody had a phone in there. Nobody had a phone. Nobody had a camera. That shit went unrecorded. And thank goodness, right? Wow, that's grim. I mean, also, what if you just happen not to meet the right guy? Right. Does that mean your life is meaningless? How awful. And untrue, Many women around me buy into the idea of sex work is work and think that because women are going to sexualize regardless, so they may as well capitalize on it. Oh, that is depressing and sad. Claire. Hi, Claire. Oh, thank you for joining the chat. I've heard that sentiment. You're going to be sexualized anyway. You might as well make it work for you. Which amounts to fighting fire with fire, right? So you just end up with a big fire. Yay. Now everything's on fire. Great. This is fine, right? This is fine. That meme. Claire, yeah, women have been convinced that selling themselves is empowering and it's not. It pisses me off. Right. As I say, it seems to me to be corrosive to the psyche. I'm not sure how else to say it. I'm not going to say it drives you crazy. I think you have to be a little off kilter to really accept that idea to begin with. But if the whole world is telling you something, everyone you know, people in authority, so-called experts, if the world around you seems to unanimously agree upon something, sometimes you don't even think to question it. Until it makes you miserable. Oh my God. I would probably be an even bigger outcast if there was a video history of my life. Right. Oh my God. So, not sad at missing out on that opportunity. Well, look at all the people who were getting canceled because of something they said when they were 17 or 18 that would be most of us. Right. Oh, yeah. I can't. I don't even. I mean, I can't imagine. I kept a journal. I've kept a journal for years, so I have some way of imagining. The ramblings that would have come out of my mouth at the time, and I'm just so happy that those journals are in notebooks in a box in my bedroom. You know what I'm saying? Like, and no one's business but my own, which is how it ought to be. That's what I'm saying. Some things are okay, are private. I don't know. Your inner ramblings as a teenager don't need to be public, and the way that the level of exposure, personal exposure, like there's no way that doesn't warp you. I don't know. If only because one other generation of humanity grew up that way. And it's definitely unfair to hold a 30-year-old to account for something they said when they were 18. Anybody who thinks that's reasonable, just, are you the same person you were at 18? I'm so sad for you. I've met 0 sex workers that didn't have a drug addiction or an abusive boyfriend, and usually both. Wow. And what people fail to recognize is that there is absolutely zero way to know if these women are doing it consensually or not, no matter what it looks like. I remind people of that when they tell me they watch porn. Oh, God. Personally, to me, porn is kind of like video games. I don't get it, and I don't quite understand what it's for and where it's supposed to go in my life. That's my own selfish take on it. There's never a moment in my day when I sit back and I think, yeah, I could go for some that. I don't understand. Recently, I found some of my old social media from when I was in my early teens, and it's so bad. I do have a MySpace page out there somewhere. Long abandoned, obviously. So, who knows what's become of that. I mean, I suppose the nice thing is if everybody has that stuff, then it becomes less noteworthy, right? It becomes more of a rite of passage than something to be ostracized for. That became ridiculous, I think, pretty quickly, and I can't believe that everybody didn't see. Like, it was ridiculous anyway. I've literally just recently been considering getting rid of my years and years since I was a teenager amount of journals I have. I don't know that I want my kids to have to deal with them. I don't know. You might be cheating some nerd out of a really interesting read. That's exactly the sort of thing that if I got my hands on it, I'd be like, oh, these are going in the bedside table. Like, or to deal with what's in them in case it makes them feel some kind of way. I'll be dead, so it doesn't matter to me. I don't need to keep things. I don't need to be remembered. You will be, though. That's what I'm saying. And as far as I know, I'm really the only person in my family that keeps journals like that. And that's probably why, if I managed to get really, it wouldn't even matter whose it was. If I managed to get my hands on some dead person's journal, you bet your bootlaces I would read that bitch. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Cover to cover. That would be so much fun. That's why I tried to read Boswell's London Journal, which is, I did not get through that. Some of the things that I bitch about masculine literature sometimes have their roots in that book. Oh, my God. They're back from the store. No, we're all going to be remembered, and that's the scary part about it is you don't really get to control how.
See, I have faith.
Oh my gosh. I just want to say, apropos of nothing, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. This is always such a nice moment, and we've done it a lot this week, so I feel a little burnt out, but
Well, you reminded me it was the birthday, so I got something a little special. I know you'd like it too.
sweet.
And
No arguments.
it's 1,000 times less work than fried chicken.
Indeed.
Also, we got big salmon and small salmon.
I see. That's
Well,
great.
one has the skin on the back, the other one doesn't.
It looks great. Yeah, oh, and help Daddy with the door.
Thank you, wife. Oh, your stomach. What's wrong with your stomach?
It's going to have chocolate milk in it soon. Oh, there's a museum in the UK that takes unwanted journals and reserves them for the future. That's awesome. Where? I'd add a destination to my itinerary. Because it's such a great first-hand source for historians, right? Oh, love it. Love it. Because, one of the main practical reasons I need to get the channel off the ground so that I can make some money doing this is so I can save up to go to England. Okay. Not exactly sure where, but the person running it is named Irving Finkel. What a fantastic name. I'm going to have to look that up. What a fantastic name. I can't imagine I'll forget it either. That's great. But yeah. I also fight with myself over whether or not I, want to trash my stuff before I die. Mainly just because of some of the personal struggles I've been through are nobody's business but mine. Like I'm saying, some things are private. So I'm conflicted about that, Excuse me. Oh my gosh. I took the antihistamines and they do nothing. It's the goggles, they do nothing. I'm tired. What were we talking about? Yep. Sex work is not work. Like, if for no other reason than, for whatever reason, one of the first things that always leaps to my mind is in any other field, the longer you've been in it, the more superiority you have. The seniority is a good thing. In every other career on earth. So, if breadth of experience is works against you, that's not a career. What that's bizarre. That's like some bizarro version of a career that makes you less and less desirable as a client or as a whatever. The more experienced you become. What is that? What other field is that true about? I have a LinkedIn challenge. If you really believe it's work, put it on your resume. Yeah. No, and it brings me back to Philological's question earlier about domestic work being, compensated monetarily. And ironically, in that way, it cheapens it, I think. Because where do you draw the line? Because you're not just doing that domestic work because it needs done, like you would an office job. You're doing that domestic work, A, to live in a comfortable environment, and B, because you want the people who live with you, who you hopefully care about, to live in a comfortable environment. In my case, those being my family, my kids, So it is personal in a way that a job isn't. So it's much harder to draw the line. It's much harder to have a work-life balance. You know, I ran into Irving Finkel at a bus stop once. My small claim to fame. Oh my gosh, who is this guy? He sounds like a character from an old radio play. Like, what the fuck? Where's my pencil? Oh my goodness. Really though, where's my pencil? Fuck on it. Why should it be under the box? No. Ah. Fell on the floor. Ground. Whatever. Fell on the ground. Okay. I'm going to write that down because I'm not going to forget it. I have to look that guy up. He sounds interesting. For what a name. Like some other animals, I like to keep my nest neat and welcoming for my pride. Yeah, right. It's only natural, right? Yeah, totally. Oh my god, that's awesome. Is he as wizard-like in person as he appears online? Okay. Who is this guy? What the shit? I don't know, but I'm gonna find out. Wow! He does look like a wizard. He was born the same year as my dad. Okay. The Ark before Noah. The first ghosts. Cuneiform. Ancient board. So he's an archaeologist? A philologist and Assyriologist. The assistant keeper of ancient Mesopotamian script, languages, and cultures in the Department of the Middle East in the British Museum. So he is exactly what he looks like. Well, it's always refreshing to get what you expect from the tin, right? Nice. At least it's not pretentious, that beard. He earned it, didn't he? Nice. I can't imagine he isn't wizard-like in person with that beard. Wow. Is that journal archive perhaps in the British Museum then? Like, that ought to be a stop on anybody's list, on anybody's itinerary, right? But that's in London, isn't it? God damn it. Whatever. I'm going to have to go to London anyway, because that's where everything anyone else is going to want to see. Yes, he's awesome. Irving Finkel is this person's name. I'm guessing he must be a minor celebrity in the UK. Yeah, he is an English philologist and Assyriologist, assistant keeper of ancient Mesopotamian script, languages, and cultures in the Department of the Middle East in the British Museum, where he specializes in cuneiform inscriptions on clay tablets from ancient Mesopotamia. So he is the real deal, apparently, as far as academics go. You don't get much more, much better bona fides than that. It is a very wizardy name. Irving Finkel. I have that name. He sounds like a character from an old radio play, is what I was thinking, but, perhaps a fantasy novel even. Like, he would not look amiss in the cast of The Lord of the Rings, that is for sure. Oh my god! And he's got Harry. He's got a big, um, what you call it? He's got a big Gandalf beard and Harry Potter glasses. So yeah, spot on as far as typing. Don't think it is. The last time I heard about it, the project was quite small. Oh man. Well, something to look into anyway. How fascinating. Damn, kind of cute. Right? Yeah, he's not my dad's age, so I don't know how much older than you he is. Not anywhere near as much older than you as he is me. My real life name sounds very witchy. Nice. Someone even asked me if I chose my name due to Harry Potter. Damn, now I'm dying to know what it is, but I'm not. You don't have to tell us, obviously, but yeah. My maiden name was Thrasher, uh, which sounds like a wrestler name, and I never felt particularly attached to it. My lover's 48. Nice, nice. Right, you said you're 62, so he's 72. That makes him 10 years older than you. So, blah. Um, that makes you a cougar, right? Rawr. Um, and my current name is actually derived from Dwarvish, like D&D Dwarvish. So, you know, it's it's better than a wrestler name, I guess, right? That's one of the ways I've always looked at it. Getting older, but my boyfriends don't. Oh, okay, okay. Dazed and confused up in here. Okay, okay. I don't remember the name of that character. The only famous line from that whole movie, you remember? Spoken by who was it? Oh, the blonde guy. I want to say he's a Texan. I want to say Matthew McConaughey. Talking about high school girls, you remember? Oh my god. Oh my god, Thrasher is such a cool middle name. That was my last name. Men. Men my age, right. Men my age are looking for someone to make them 7-layer salad when her friends come over for football or nurse them, and I am not here for that. You're not her. Yeah, same. Bleh. Real name is Joanna Eve. Pretty. Pretty. Yeah, my middle name is Marie. Yeah. Which, as far as middle names go, is neither here nor there for me. I don't. It's very common, interchangeable with like Anne or Lynn or it's dirt common. My talk to text keeps dropping the first word, and I have to go back and put it in. It's great. Oh my god, I'm sorry. My in real life first name is Bella. At least it's shortened form. Wow, you're also a Marie geek girl. See, there are many of us. There are many of us. My friends started shortening it to Belle, so that's where my online handle came about. Right on, right on. Yeah, I don't know. I think Sarah is a good, strong name, and it is old. It is pronounceable in every language on the planet, as far as I know. Johanna. Oh, nice. Johanna Eve. Still pretty. It's nice. That's how it's pronounced, which is why I don't use it because everybody was calling me wrong names, and it didn't really go well over with my dad. Oh dear. And we just had an ad, so I'm gonna skip this one too. That's annoying. I don't know why they need to put them in clusters. That's strange. Uh, Many, the previous you mean generations of women in my family had Marie as the middle name. Almost seems like a standard go-to. Right, right. It was my aunt's middle name too. I grew up being told it was a family name, but I've encountered it in so many other families, right? I deliberately didn't give my son a middle name because the only time I heard mine was when my mom was angry. Oh, wow. I gave both my kids middle names, but only one. Because, long story short, my mom thought it would be cute to give me her maiden name as a second middle name. Not to hyphenate the last names. I just have 4 names. Which, there is not room for 4 names on IRS paperwork. So I was going to try and run another ad. What the hell? Oh, nice. Hearing the full name as a kid struck true fear. Yeah, I know a lot of moms do that. And I didn't. That's what I was getting at. I went ahead and gave my kids each a middle name to give them options, really. Wait, really? So, like, what do people with long names do to file taxes? I don't know. Okay. I have had to. I don't file my own taxes because my mom married an accountant. Okay, so I actually have some kind of support system in my life, but I haven't had to do everything myself forever. Um, all of a sudden, I feel like a kept woman, but like, I literally had a CPA for a stepdad. Would you do your own taxes if somebody was offering to do it for you for free and get you a credit you didn't deserve? Okay, so come on. uh, that's a good question. I don't know, but the point is, like, I've had trouble getting a replacement card. I've had trouble getting my returns. When I was younger, my mom had trouble, like, claiming me and blah, 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 because, like, you have to put the first name, the middle name, and then the last name, and then it doesn't match the number, and, like, blah, 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 back and forth. And, it's a pain. My mother and I are the only ones in my family with the middle name. Most Swiss people don't because they take their maid's name. Okay. It's sort of a vestigial thing. I don't know. Like I say, I gave my kids the second name to give them flexibility with what the hell they wanted to call themselves. It's to me, it was like quite a task to try and choose a name for a person I've never met. That's quite a task, right? So the older one is Cole Vincent because Cole, I think, is a nice masculine name without being aggressive. It's easy to pronounce and, common enough that people are going to go, oh, that name, but not that they know 5 other people called that. You know what I mean? And then Vincent is a little more, in your face and has a couple of nicknames you can make it into, and that was a lot of my thinking there. It wasn't until he was like 4 years old I realized I accidentally named him after the 2 psychic kids in that movie, The Sixth Sense. Not just one. Haley Joel Osment's character's name was Cole. And I was vaguely aware of that, but then I went and rewatched that movie, and no, like the kid who he had back in the day, that's on the tape recording, the guy who grows up and then the guy who shoots him, spoiling a 25-year-old movie. That kid's name was Vincent, and I sat back and went, well, damn, he's gonna think I did that on purpose. Shit. My kids have middle names, and one of my grandkids has 4 names. Oh, right on. Yeah, I feel like that's more popular these days. I know a friend of my ex's gave each of their kids had 4 or 5 names, like, royalty. Sort of strange. I didn't choose a new middle name, because my first and last name are like grammatically complete in Latin, and I didn't want to mess it up. I've thought about adding Felix Happy as a middle name. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Yeah, my understanding of it is that Marie means bitterness. And I was always told that Sarah meant princess. Have I said this before on here? So I grew up believing that my name meant Princess Bitterness, which is kind of feels like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Like, oh, you know, like that's you know. No. But come to find out, Sarah with no H means princess. But there's that whole biblical story of Sarah is the wife of Abraham. And I hate to get biblical, but like that's literally the origin of the name. And with the H, so God gives her babies. And like, so with the H, the name Sarah means mother of races. Because newsflash, the Abrahamic religions should be called like the Sarah religions or whatever. So it's mother of races bitterness. Which isn't really a whole lot better, but it sure is different. I have a Silas Brandt and a Rachel Janelle. Nice. Silas is not one you hear much. But I love me a good, unfamiliar sounding name. That sounds like a character if you wrote a fantasy novel. I'm probably never going to do it because it'd be effort to fill out the forms. But during my PhD, I learned the Old English word Bella Geza, which means Bell of Doom, which would be such a cool name to have. It would. Oh. One of my favorite random names is Gisela. Gisela. It's like a German woman's name, and I think it's kind of old-fashioned. But we had a cat called that when I was growing up, and I'm just always, I know it has the word geese at the beginning of it. It's kind of awkward for English, but I don't know, Gisela. I don't know. It's like Ursula, like, those Drusilla, those very dramatic woman's names that, Sarah sounds like a petite version of to me. I don't know. It sounds like, oh, you tried. Like, I'm short a syllable, like. I think Gisela would mean something like little hostage in German. Oh, nice. Nice. I wouldn't doubt it. That is a good name. Yeah. Oh, what was the other? Deirdre, I've always thought was really beautiful, which of course means sorrow. Okay, great. A lot of Gaelic names are really beautiful. But, my mother almost named me Lucille. So. And the other one that was written in the back of the baby name book she used for me was Lindsay. No offense to anyone out there called Lindsay, but I'm so glad I'm not. Like, oh. Lucille as in Lucifer. No, Lucille as in Lucille Ball. Like, shortened to Lucy. Like every unfortunate redhead in fiction ever. Dracula and the Bride of Lammermoor are the two that leap to mind, okay? Not to mention the Lucille Ball herself, who I don't know if you call her unfortunate, but she was definitely a redhead, It is, traditionally speaking, a pretty stereotypical redhead lady name. Crazy redhead lady at that. And, she could have done me far worse than she did in the name department. So, thanks, Ma, if you ever see this. Right. Lucille. Yeah, right. You're right. I could be Lucy right now. I could be sitting here called Lucy right now. So, bullet dodged on that one. Sarah, it doesn't have any nicknames really, but other than that, it is a nice, strong, feminine name, right? I can't fault it. So, the mother of races bit is a lot to live up to, but I have 2 sons, so I got that going for me. I'm sure Donald Trump could come up with a good nickname for you. Oh, I'm sure. Laughing Kamala? Are you fucking serious? Cackling Kamala, man. Come the fuck on. That dude is slipping. I'm telling you. He can't even do alliteration properly anymore. You already used that one for Ted Cruz? Yeah. Lion, Ted Cruz. You're right. Again, what exactly? I don't. It is very funny. The idea that he feels that he can like bestow some strange twisted form of knighthood, by dubbing people these new titles, right? It's bizarre. His nicknames lately have been lacking. He's been reusing them a lot. Yeah, right. Well, it's almost as if that guy has dementia too. A little bit of cognitive decline going on over there too. Oh, did you see Republicans are getting super mad about the Kamala Harris ads, calling them weird for wanting to hurt police women's bodies? It's very, very good. Bigly. Wait. Conservatives are voting for a felon and the liberals are voting for a cop. The world is so surreal now. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Oh my gosh, that's so true. I hadn't thought of it that way. Oh my god. Topsy-turvy world we live in. Topsy-turvy times, yeah. Coffee, yes. Cup of coffee. Yeah, right. I mean, George W. Bush was the king of the gaffes, though, right? Like, nobody since him has topped him yet, I think, right? In the market of coining his own verbiage, misunderestimate. Fool me once, etc., etc.
I went with my hands so I yanked his hair because I'm his sister.
Yeah, no, it's fine. He's not supposed to be licking people, and he knows that. Good luck.
Thank you. I'm gonna get our stuff around 2:30.
Yeah, I saw.
And then I'm gonna stop at the beauty supply store and take Az with me.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably not, I don't know.
Does she know that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Okay, cool.
I don't know which one I'm going to, but I need to get. So.
Okay, love you. Be safe. See you soon. I'll be done with this by the time you get back.
I probably will drop it off before I go to the beauty supply store. Don't want to ride around in my car with felony.
Sounds like a plan. Excuse me. I'm having my 4th energy drink during this stream. This is only my 2nd cup of coffee. I limit myself to 2 a day because, as you saw yesterday, like the creamer is the big gremlin in my diet. So I just, I'm just cutting that off. I cut myself off after 2. Oh, we don't need another ad right now. Come on. We just have one. I remember when Dan Kyle misspelled potato. Dan Quayle, yes, misspelled potato, and that disqualified them. Those were the good old days. Disqualified him. Those were the good old days. Yeah. You gotta get me into Monster. No creamer in that. Yeah. There's also like other nervous system agents in that like. Long story short, I'm not even gonna mess with that. I don't understand how they can look at Donnie and not see someone whose brain is declining. You're right. Which I sound like a broken record, but I wrote a blog post about that years ago too, because I recognized something in his speech that I literally have experience with dementia patients, professional experience working with dementia patients as a nurse aide, but you see what you see. Not to mention my own grandmother. Okay. And he was doing that thing where like they reach for a word and pull back the wrong one. And he heard himself say the wrong word and he couldn't find the right one. It wasn't just that he misspoke. He did it 3 or 4 times in a row. I don't know how so many people can't see he's literally so narcissistic. It is cartoonish. It is. That man is a living cartoon character. And I don't know how like people in the future, speaking of historians, aren't going to look back at this period and kind of laugh at us. I don't think they're going to be able to help themselves. I laugh at us. Kyle Kalinske said that, yeah, Trump is declining, but it's not like he was especially high to begin with. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he was high functioning enough to fool a lot of people. Make of that what you will. He literally once said he's the best at being humble. It's like performance art. Right. The best at being humble. Oh my god, it's so ridiculous. Yeah, no, and I see why Hillary Clinton took one look at that and went, let's have that guy. I see that. I get it. It's still arrogant as all shit. And she was wrong. So good job, Hills. Good job. Good job. Oh my god. And, I want to say for a while, there were people out there who were convinced he was doing a bit. They were like, no, he's a reality star. This is a bit. And there had to be people who had known him come out and say, no, that's just who he is. With Trump, you don't know if it's his NH stupidity or mental decline. Well, right. There's obviously a serious social deficit going on there, right? Just anyway. The Trump followers as well, people buying into gender ideology it's so surreal when you're on the outside. Yeah. And it's like I was saying in today's video, actually, in that Unheard article, Mary Harrington's Unheard article, I encourage everybody to go read that because that's the point that she makes, is that from the outside, both of those groups look a lot the same. They look a lot alike. The extreme conservatives and the extreme progressives look a lot alike from the outside. Yeah, they do. Innate. Okay, there we go. His innate stupidity or mental decline. Yeah, no. Like I say, there was clearly some pretty severe social deficits going on there anyway. Going all the way back. Hillary Clinton and legitimized him when she was a senator by sitting front and center at his wedding. It may or may not surprise you to know that I did not know that. I'm not going to ask why she was invited. They're the Clintons. Of course he invited them. Social climber that he is. He probably invited everyone he could think of who was important. But why would they go? I don't know exactly when that was. That was before the campaign, one assumes. But still. Oh, right. Because he and Bill were friends. Right? They had a mutual friend with an airplane and an island, right? Ooh. Trump voted Democrat for a long time. Right. No, I got there. Took me a second, but I got there. What unites all powerful men? Apparently a thirst for 13-year-olds. What is that? That's something that knows no limits. I don't want an ad right now. I'm trying to get off here in 5 minutes. Stop. You're so annoying. I do need to go in a few minutes, though. Listen, I think my voice is starting to go. Oh, my gosh. I have to go figure out what I'm doing tomorrow for Friday. Ideas? Thoughts? Anything you guys want me to see me cover on the channel that I have, not covered yet? Anything you guys want me to expand upon? I mean, I will say this. Cranking out the videos is, I haven't even begun to scrape, the surface of the level. I have the material. That's not the problem. I said years ago that when both sides start banning the same book, we're in trouble. JK proved that. Boy, she is just a fascinating bellwether, isn't she? Imagine being her. Literally all she did was write a few books. Well, okay, quite a few books. But she's not a politician or a political leader of any kind or a social leader of it. I mean, I don't know. She stepped up to the plate. I'm not saying that. But, I don't even think she realized she was playing baseball. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that's why she got in it. I don't think that's why she did that. I don't think that's why she wrote those books. Hear about the boxing match that happened today? No. What was it? What about the idea of whether the trad lifestyle thing can be meaningfully reformed so it's not as terrible for women? Oof. I think that falls under the category of kitchen baggage, right? Yeah. On the other hand, it really just goes straight to the heart of the matter. And that's like kicking a hornet's nest. And your mileage may vary. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm looking in that direction for sure. Just don't know if I'm prepared to tackle that one yet. That's a big one. That's something I hear from a lot of trad types that, oh, no, what we want isn't like the 1920s. It's this new, less horrible thing. Right. Which wouldn't be traditional then. That's confused right off the bat. Their kids vacation together. Nice. It was Bill Clinton. He suggested he went for president. Nice. They thought it would make for a win. Nice. Narcissist underestimated the other, which often the case because they're narcissistic. Yeah. A man boxed a woman at the Olympics. Nice. I'm assuming this is a trans woman you're talking about. Yeah, great. They are moving all the sex offenders out of my friend's section of the prison today because they're bringing a dog training program in and they can't leave those guys alone with the dogs. Oh, the world is a horrible, gross place sometimes. Yeah. Combat sports are literally the ones where it's most dangerous for trans women to compete against hetero women. Yeah, and I'm saying this as a trans woman who used to practice martial arts. And that's what I like about you, is you appreciate physical reality and the limitations inherent therein. Oh. Well, let's take a turn. Oh, man, boxing woman at the Olympics. Well, there's a topic for a video, maybe. I don't know. Oh, my God. Like, I don't know. Trans women competing in women's soccer, like, it's unfair, but nobody's going to die. That could actually happen with boxing. Yeah. Yeah. And there's been at least one case of a girl got her skull bashed open, right? Or someone could get permanent brain damage. Like I'm saying, I'm pretty sure that's already happened. And it just keeps wanting to put an ad in. I'm going to go ahead and let it run this one, I guess. Maybe that'll let it get it out of its system so we can wrap this up. What's up, baby boy?
Could I have some popcorn?
Yeah?
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll be in there in a couple of minutes. I'm almost done. Yeah. There's going to be another match with another. Not sure about the date. Oh my God. That's what pisses me off, to be honest. Well, it makes trans people everywhere look like fucking monsters to insist upon such a thing. Like, hooray, let's have an international spectacle of a man beating the shit out of a woman. Yay! What the fuck is that? It's when the TREs, even when hearing about that risk, insist women's physical safety is less important than trans women's fifis. Like, they can't. And it wants to run two, like, literally back to back. What the fuck? No. I'm trying to wrap this up, and I can't do that if you guys can't hear me. Like, yeah, we don't really fit into sports too well. Sad day for us. It's not worth someone potentially getting injured over. Like, what the fuck? Right. But so that just betrays the lack of consideration for other people, or perhaps lack of appreciation that other people actually exist in a meaningful way. Like, so many of us don't fit in the same thing or another. It doesn't mean the whole world flips for us. Right. I'm not an athlete either in any category. I enjoy distance walking, as I've said. So, uh, on the other hand, I'm good at other stuff. I've said this before. I appreciate that I'm not good at everything because that leaves me no guilt whatsoever in delegating things like my taxes to my CPA stepdad. Like, that's literally his job and had been for decades. So I felt no qualms whatsoever in handing that off to him. I don't love. Let's see. The match was bad, but it wasn't as bad as the MMA one, thankfully. Okay. That's some relief, I guess. I don't love Blair White, but one thing Blair says is there's beauty and dignity in being your own thing. Yeah, as a trans person and accepting that you're going to be a bit different. Buck Angel says the same. Right. The two of them actually drive me the most crazy in that way. It's that thing where moderates are sometimes almost the most aggravating because they don't have any strong feel. Like, they're not to say that neither of those two have any strong feelings. I know that's not true. But, like, they sound so damn reasonable, don't they? Um, but both of them are so preoccupied with the idea of finding and helping the trans children. But you cannot help but think it's a projection of their own issues onto the wider world that they're gonna then seek out and find and correct and help and ease that way. Like, okay, it's self-serving and just distract. Like, there are no trans kids; they don't exist. There are kids with severe gender dysphoria who need to stay the fuck away from Buck Angel and Blair White. That's my take on that. And you know, but the thing still, there, but for the grace of time or whatever, go I. Okay, if somebody had told me when I was 13 that I could become a man, I would have absolutely hopped on that train without a second thought. Was just saying that gives me a little bit of horror, like, there goes my life. Okay, all of it up to that, past that point. I have no idea. I shudder to think, maybe I'd be happy. Maybe I'd be happier. I have no reason to believe that, though. I'm a whole lot happier now than I was then with myself. Because, like I said earlier, I had these issues and I've worked on them. Yeah. Me too. I would have done it at 7. I would have done it in my early 30s, even. Oh, wow. Mandy thinks can only. Women can be selfish psychopaths as well. They don't care if they hurt people, they like it. Well, yeah, some women are selfish psychopaths. I'm not going to deny that. But when I was a child, I was offered blockers, but thankfully my mother's neglectfulness came in handy that time. Oh, wow. The attention is good attention. Oh, yeah. That's a big part of it. For me, it literally was, internalized misogyny. I didn't want to be a woman because my idea of what the fuck a woman was nothing like what I wanted to be. Which sounds very simple. It was not. Okay. I think my toxic text has literally lost its mind and I'm so lazy. I'm not sitting here typing, am I? So I got nothing. I deleted my comments because they're almost nonsensical. So it's fine. It's fine. I got it in there, so the record exists. He's some handle. Mwah. Um, But so yeah, I look at somebody like Blair White or Buck Angel, and they are so high functioning, and they sound so reasonable, and it's terrifying to me. Thusly, you know, and philological is your life is your business. You're not going around pursuing the trans children because that I would have a problem with. Okay, posing as social concern. Yikes, just yikes. That's why and somebody's come on here the last couple of times and asked me if I'd be their internet mom and whatever. So I've had to clarify this for myself. I'm speaking from a mom's perspective. I'm not here to do momming on the internet. That's not the goal here. And it's trying to insert another ad. If it does it again, I might let it. But like, holy crap, it's like 3 and 5 minutes. No, but a lot of people in my personal life want to use me as a therapist to talk through their gender issues. Oh, can I talk about something personal? That person was odd. I have had more than my fair share of oddballs in my life, though, so I'm not intimidated by that. I just really didn't know how to answer the question. Will you be my mom? It's like, that's sweet and all and kind of scary. So you don't just want to be like, no, because do you want to upset that person? Maybe not, right? Maybe not. It seemed like they just randomly found you for the first time and then left right into that. Yeah. Yep. Yep. So that's fun. It's like somebody tossing you a grenade with the pin that's been pulled, and you're like, oh, fun! I didn't know we were playing this game today. All right. On the other hand, 'tis the internet. Reminds me of that Dr. Seuss book, Are You My Mother? Yeah, right? So it's hopefully not a serious question, but as I say, I don't exactly have a whole lot of anonymity on the internet, so uh, I'm really not here to try and piss off people. That's not my goal at all. When young girls go from the freedom of childhood to having older men leer an adult and generally making comments about, yeah, motherhood, dating, of course girls want to opt out. Right. And that happens to a lot of us, dare I say, most of us at like 12, give or take. And that's part of what I'm talking about, masculinized culture, because, like, you know what? If men have those thoughts, that's interesting. Why do we hear them? Why is that? Why do they feel that that's something worth sharing with anyone, much less the young girl in question? Why is that perceived as complimentary? When have you ever met a girl who, in retrospect, perceived it that way? Maybe at the time, but in retrospect, looking back, have you ever met anybody who was like, yeah, I loved all those flirty compliments I used to get from older men in middle school? Yeah, my sister says mother keeps commenting on her childbearing hips and just, Jesus, I would die if I got stuff like that, honestly. Hey, Mecca, I'm glad I stayed late. Nice to see you, honey. Oh, man, it's been a hectic week. I'll be back on here at noon tomorrow if you're around. Uh, we were just, talking about why girls might want to opt out of womanhood. Anything to add? And then, like I say, my throat's actually kind of killing me, and I have to go eat something at some point today. But thanks so much for checking in, And thanks to everybody else for hanging with me. It's been a crazy week. I'll catch you tomorrow for sure. Rock and roll. Sounds good. Whew, now I'm thinking about food, and it's like the bottom fell out. Womanhood definitely has obvious minuses. Yeah, right? Especially all this femininity garbage that is everywhere and in everything. That's completely divorced from the material realities of what it is to be female. Your favorite channel? Oh, thank you. I dealt with bad child abuse, so I was dying to grow up and leave. Right, yeah. And I had just been saying how it's a really strong example. Don't want to say my favorite, but it's a strong example of the masculinized world that I've been talking about lately. Uh, because why? It's if men have those thoughts about younger girls, then that's its own issue. But why do we hear them? Why do they feel like they are worth sharing with anyone, much less the young lady in question? Why are they assumed to be complimentary? That we would be flattered to hear about their peen feels regarding our form, like. And do you know anybody who, in retrospect, still finds that shit flattering? Like, oh yeah, I loved all those flirty compliments I used to get from older men when I was in middle school. Do you know anyone? No. I don't think I've ever met anybody who would honestly say that. It's a whole other weird feeling when it comes from a woman, let alone her own mother. Yeah. Yeah, right? Thankfully, my mother didn't, like I've said, well, my mom did not push femininity on me. We'll say that because she did not really pursue it herself all that strongly. And we're about to get another ad, and I'm going to go ahead and let it do that. And then I'm going to have to wrap up because I'm so exhausted, y'all. I've got to go eat something. My mom was dating a pedo, so I got objectified a lot at a young age at home. I hated old men's attention, but wanted it a lot from guys my age. Was that for reassurance? That almost sounds normal, but oh God, Mac, that's awful. I'm so sorry. Yeah, no, that is awful. But as far as the wanting it from guys your age, I know that when you have experienced that kind of thing, it can lead to sort of a hypersexualized existence, especially when you're younger. It's just terrible when the mothers don't leave their daughters. Oh, my mom was a hairdresser and a glamour photographer. Oh my God. So you got femininity pushed on you a lot. Oh my God. I can only imagine. Oh my God. I am so sorry. Because it doesn't mean anything, does it? It's not related to anything. It's that I. It's such garbage. Like literally, I prefer dresses because I have wide hips and short legs. They are more comfortable for me. The end. That's it. Then pants. Because I probably have to go to a tailor to have pants. My pants specially tailored to fit me properly. I've never, ever, 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 ever found a pair of pants that fit me properly ever in my life. And I just don't care enough. It's just not that important to me. I don't know. My mother tried for maybe a few seconds, then she gave up and decided I was defective. Unlike my sister, she started to then see me as a pseudo son. Oh, God. And when doing my hair or makeup, Mecca says, was pretty much the only time my mom was nice and we actually had fun. Oh, man, that's good. Yeah, that'll warp you. I had a friend, Joe says, who was at work and sick as a dog, and her mother came in not to help her in any way, but to tell her to go put on some makeup because the whole world didn't need to know she was sick. Ew, I couldn't believe my mother would have been making me soup. I couldn't believe it. My mother would have been making me soup and offering to do my job for me. Great, because that's actually helpful. And that's the thing. You can tell when someone cares about you. It shows, right? In their actions. I don't have to go to a tailor, but I have unusually wide hips for a male, and yeah, finding trousers that fit is always really difficult. What the fuck? I can't imagine saying that to someone. Yeah, that's awful. Can't be ugly and sick. Yeah, oh my God. How presumptuous of you to voice that upon the world. Oh my god. Ugh. Ugh. Being pretty is not the right pay to take up space in the world. Right? Ugh. Women can never be ugly, God forbid. I know, yeah, right. Ugh. Now, if only beauty weren't in the eye of the beholder, right? If only that weren't a universal standard in any way at all. Doesn't she know her appearance is like the most important thing at all times ever? No, I know you're being sarcastic. You're right, obviously. That's not the kind of channel we run around here at all. No. Oh, but speaking of running the channel, I do. I have to wrap this up. Go rest my poor throat. I'm getting awfully dry. I don't know if you guys can hear. Have some nice tea. I'm a coffee person, but yeah, you too. You too. I hope everybody has a nice rest of their Wednesday, and I'll be back here at noon tomorrow for the hour. Okay, like I've been doing the last couple of days, because I'm going to get this algorithm's attention if it's the last thing. No, I don't know why I keep trying to say that, because it's not going to be the last thing I do. That's ridiculous. But I am. It's all about looking successful, and I'm not joking. Wait. It was great hanging all. Yeah, same. If there's a live tomorrow or the day after, I'll catch it, but maybe a little quiet like yesterday's. I'll probably be editing. That's cool. That's cool. It's all about looking successful, and I'm not joking. Other things. Yeah, true. But the things that, signals success, I don't know. There's a whole video topic, maybe. Other things that being pretty matter sounds suspicious. It is suspiciously persistent. You have a great week too, Joe. Everybody have a good one, and I will see you guys tomorrow, though. I'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, at noon for an hour. Just the other day, Big Plans was referring to the YouTube algorithm as a lottery, and I'm just trying to buy me as many tickets as I can get my grubby little mitts on. So I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Thank you so much. Sincerely. Have a good one, guys. See you tomorrow.